G'day sports fans and welcome back to State of Corona, the quest to crush COVID-19. It's now actually what we call here in Australia Easter Monday, which is still a part of the public holidays. We get Good Friday and Monday off, so it's a 4-day holiday. So yeah, gee, we're on holidays. What are we doing? Staying indoors, doing the same thing we're doing every day at the moment. Anyway, so it is Monday the 12th for the 13th of April. Not that that matters, the date, because they all blend into one after all. I just wanted to give you an update on the figures and again pose a couple of questions for you. So I just want to give you some of the numbers. Here are the numbers as at end of business last night, which was Easter Sunday. Now, you can barely see it, but 0.33% is what the Australian numbers went up by yesterday. Now, I don't know if COVID-19 had the Easter break off or it was partying with the Easter Bunny or what, but those numbers for yesterday are pretty damn small. Maybe the doctors weren't there, maybe we just weren't counting, but whatever the reason, those numbers are pretty damn small. And again, I am not advocating complacency, not in any way whatsoever. However, my point is, the yellow highlighted numbers there are the days on which, to the best of my knowledge, we had our various levels of restriction brought in. So that one that's 26.9%, that was the level 1. I don't know if they're still referring to it as level 1, 2, 3, whatever, but basically that noon on that day, the 26.9 day in the middle of the screen there, that was when we had shut down of all non-essential services, including pubs, clubs, restaurants, and it began at midday with people finding themselves out of work. The Premier confirms Queensland Council elections will go ahead. Oh yeah, we still had to vote for a mayor in a little cardboard box and share pencils between thousands of people. That was more important. Anyway, so the elections went ahead. And then they announced also as a part of that, so as I said, this was as of the 23rd of March, that also our borders here in Queensland were going to close as of midnight, the Wednesday, the 24th. Now, the number where you see 6.6, the next yellow number along, that was where what I believe were regarded as the level 2 restrictions were introduced. And to quote, the Premier dramatically tightens social distancing regulations and announces a 2-person rule for all Queensland households. It means residents are allowed to gather and exercise with only one other person outside of their family members. For home visits, a limit of 2 visitors is imposed, meaning 2 visitors who are not ordinarily members of a person's household. Queensland has also put in a further lockdown with travel outside the home banned except for essential reasons such as getting food, medical reasons, work and exercise. Police say they will issue on-the-spot fines of $1,334.50. Don't forget the 50 cents. So that's what happened. That's what was introduced where the 6.6 is. Now, the 1.4, I've not been able to find a definitive timeline of when it was level 1, 2, 3. It's like each day you get up and say, what? Okay, what can we do now? What can't we do? What's changed? But to me, that's, I think the 1.4, that was where they announced that for Easter, there was going to be additional measures for Easter. So I think we're either in level 3 or 4 now. I don't know, I'm confused. I just know I'm keep locking myself in here and doing shit like this. So that was where the 1.4, I think, was level 3 brought in. But as you can see, we're now down now to no more than 2% a day. And, well, effectively, we've done that for a week. We went 2.1%. So that's okay, I'm talking the Queensland regulations. But pretty well they're the same around Australia. Every state's got their own. But to go from that to that in a couple of weeks. Now, what I'd point out to you, if that's when the restrictions came on, and yes, I know it's not like it instantly had an impact, but it would seem that whatever we were doing, there would have been a bit of a lag before it kicked in. So whatever we were doing the day after the 26.9 figure, it dropped dramatically. So we must have been doing something right, or they somehow managed to nab most of the cases. So if we look at that, it's like, well, we're getting down there. And if level 1's kicked in there, and level 2 kicked in there, and level 3 kicked in there, pretty soon, can't we at least look at going back to level 2 or level 1? And let us, okay, you've got to go to a restaurant, but you can eat in a restaurant, you've got to keep your 2 metres, keep all that. Sure, if the numbers start going up again, okay, but I can't imagine us doing that is suddenly going to rocket us back up into this sort of stratospheric sort of numbers here. If it starts going up, right, that's it, we bring in level 28 restrictions if we need to. But something says to me that's not going to happen because we're now all pretty used to doing our little moves all around the supermarkets and avoiding each other. So, maybe not this week, but Give us a date whereby if we can maintain these sort of figures, you'll go, right, well, let's step back one level. What's wrong with that? Now, there's much smarter people than me out there. Can someone explain to me why we can't be looking to do that, at least in Queensland or some of the states where we have generally flattened out? Now, well, talking of all the other states, let's have a look at how each state's fared in the last 24 hours. Well, again, New South Wales at the top, pretty damn flat. Victoria pretty flat, that's Queensland ending on 983 as of yesterday. WA's looking pretty flat. South Australia, I gotta say, probably best job. Probably Mike and Karen doing all your great work and all the emergency services and essential services workers over there. So as much as all up Tassie and NT and ACT numbers are down, in terms of genuinely flattening where you've got a lot of population, South Australia's really done an amazingly good job. Tassie, oi, neat, so you can go down there. Got a bit of a kick in your tail. What's going on in Tassie? Why have you started aiming up? You've been very flat for a long time, now all of a sudden you seem to be accelerating. So Tassie, don't be complacent. Is there a cruise ship docked there recently or something? Or like what's gone in Tassie to see that little kick in the tail down the bottom there? So anyway, Tassie, you might have to lift your socks a bit. NT, yeah, you're flat. And ACT's pretty flat. So just, well, as I was saying, the thing was we've got to flatten the curve. Well, we've flattened the curve and we've had them flat for a good, well, we maybe not this week or the week, maybe the week after. We say, well, we set a deadline. If we can keep them that flat, let's step back to level 3, level 2, level 1, whatever, reinvent a new level. I don't care, but give us some liberties back. Because I've said previously, I've watched my loved one nearly die as a result of a respiratory illness. I know what it's like to sit in ICU for 25 days, watch someone in a coma for 11 days and be told for 4 days, she hasn't turned the corner, prepare yourself, she may not make it. I've gone through that, so I do know what that's like. Sorry if you've heard it from me one time too many. But anyway, I thought just one other thing, I'll wrap it up there, but just one other thing. Yeah, I'm a nut for MotoGP. You probably notice I do like wearing a different t-shirt every day. This is one I picked up in Italy in September of 2016. I was over there for the San Marino MotoGP, and it was only a month before that they'd had the earthquake which killed just on 300 people. And this t-shirt was done as a tribute and a fundraiser for them at the MotoGP circuit. So now I can wear it and it's a sort of, well, it's not funding, but just as a tribute to everyone over in Italy. And speaking of MotoGP, I had a great time last night watching the second ever virtual race. So if you have a look around online, if you're not seeing your best or your favourite sport being played, check out to see if they're doing a virtual thing, because I believe Formula One and I think NASCAR have done it. There've been 2 MotoGP virtual races so far, and they were fantastic. They're hilarious. Loved it. I sat up, started 11:30 local time here, thoroughly entertained. So I'd much rather see them on real motorbikes, on real tracks. But if we can't have that, let's have a virtual race. So for the foreseeable future, e-sport, virtual racing, virtual competition does seem to be where it's all going to be at. So anyway, sports lovers, I'll leave it with you there. And for those places that are still celebrating Easter, the last bits of it, happy Easter 2020. It's one I don't think any of us are going to forget in a hurry. And I'll see you again soon on State of Corona, the quest to crush COVID-19. See you, folks.